you need to turn the music down, but we're gonna get started. We're all here and okay. Okay. So my name is Lydia. I'll be leading your power yoga class today. So it is going to be power. Hope that'll make you sweat a little bit, like get your heart rate up, but you're also reminded that it's your class. So you're welcome to take any modifications or variations of poses that'll make you more comfortable, and you can always come back to resting poses throughout the class. So that can be child's pose, down dog, tabletop, and we'll go through all this too as we go. If you're new, welcome. I'm excited that this is your first yoga class, to just try to hop in and follow along. Make sure you have water with you. And if you ever feel dizzy or faint, always make sure to step back, take a resting pose, come back to your breath, get water. There's also a waiver that's going to be in the little chat thing to your right. So read over that, and by participating in the class, you're agreeing to the waiver. And then there's also no harassment policy. So if you ever feel uncomfortable or anything in class or in the chat, you can reach out to me or the co-host. What's also in the chat, and we can take care of it. So I think that's everything I'm kind of supposed to say. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start in child's pose. So for child's pose, bring the big toes together to touch, knees out wide, and then walking the arms down the mat. And then once you're down, letting your forehead rest. So I'll come up so y'all can hear me. Stay in your child's pose. And then on your next inhale, walk your fingertips an inch further down your mat. So just going a little bit longer. And then on your exhale, sink the shoulders just a little bit closer to the floor. So just deepening that stretch, the tops of the shoulders and the back. And maybe rock your head side to side, just bringing one ear down and then the other. And then we'll take another inhale together, reaching the fingertips out long. And then on your exhale, we're going to take the hands into a prayer. And then bending at the elbows and bring the heels of the hands to the back of the neck. And then hands rest down the neck. So you should feel a stretch back of your arms. Taking one more breath there. And then on your exhale, hands go long down your mat. Going back down to your child's pose. And then we'll walk the hands so they're underneath the shoulders. Knees come underneath the hips for tabletop. And then we'll work through some cat and cow. So on your inhale, dropping your belly, lifting the crown of the head and the tailbone. And on your exhale, curling through the spine, pushing down into the hands. Inhale, drop the belly, lifting the head and the tailbone. Exhale, curl through the spine for cat. Take two more at your own breath pace. Just working through and warming up the spine. And then after your last cat, we're going to come back to the neutral tabletop. And then press firmly down into the hands and step the feet back down the mat to come into your high plank. So pulling the belly button in towards the spine, so igniting up the core, and then rocking the shoulders so they're over the wrist. We'll take one more inhale here. And on your exhale, as slow as you can, lower all the way down onto the belly. Then you can fill out the hips and release your low back. And then we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So bring the elbows so they're underneath the shoulders, hands long down your mat. Your forearms are parallel with the long edges of your mat. And then opening up through the collarbones here, and the gaze forward. It's just a light back bend. Warming up the spine. And then we're going to bring the gaze back down to the mat. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up, and come into our forearm plank. And then from forearm plank, we're going to come into Dolphin. So Dolphin, you're walking the feet in like you're in a down dog, but you're staying on the forearms. And then we'll take a few breaths in our dolphin pose, trying to get the hips up. Maybe see if you can walk the feet in a little bit closer towards the elbows. And then on your exhale, walking the feet back down your mat, coming down to your forearm plank. And we'll hold for a few breaths. Then on your next breath, we're going to walk the hands up, coming up to our high plank. And on your exhale, push the hips back, coming to your downward facing dog. And you can pedal out through the feet here, bringing one heel down and then the other. Walking out the backs of the legs. This is one of the resting poses you can come back to throughout class. And then we'll inhale together, come up to the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. And then we'll walk to the top of the mat, coming to an easy forward fold. You can walk the feet out wide, bend the knees, let the hips, let the head hang. And then grabbing opposite elbows, you can sway from side to side here. So releasing the low back, maybe shaking the head no. On your next inhale, we'll halfway lift, hands come up the shins. We'll exhale, fold forward, fold. And on your inhale, reverse swan dive, hands sweep up alongside you, lean overhead. And we'll exhale, hands down to heart center. And then we'll start to flow through sun A. So on your inhale, reaching up, hands feet overhead. And then we'll exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come up the shins. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Take one inhale here. Then on your exhale, we're going to come down through chaturanga. So chaturanga is a half tricep push-up, keeping the elbows hugged in. Then we'll inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We'll inhale, come up to the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. And then you can walk or hop. Top of your mat. We'll inhale, halfway lift, hands up the shins. Exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive, hands feet overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, we'll flow through again. Inhaling, reaching up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Inhaling here. And exhale, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, down facing dog. So when you go through those chaturangas, you can always drop the knees down or lower all the way down into the belly. We'll inhale, come up to the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. And then walk or hop, top of your mat. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, hands feet overhead. And then on your exhale, we're going to sink down into our chair. So for chair, you can keep the hands at heart center or extend them out overhead, biceps to ears, it's up to you. And then look down at your toes and make sure you can see all 10 toes. If not, sit a little bit further back, bringing the weight down into the heels. And then we'll take a few breaths in our chair. Going a little bit longer in the spine with each inhale. And then sinking down a little bit deeper on your exhales. Taking one more inhale. And we'll exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come up the shins. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your plank. And then you have your option to flow through your vinyasa. We're gonna push back to your down dog. So if you're flowing through, you're coming to your chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. And then on your inhale, you're going to sweep the right leg up behind you for a three-legged dog. And then on your exhale, knee comes into your nose, stepping the foot in between the hands. And then we're going to come up into crescent lunge. So keeping the back foot as it is, so heel facing up. And then reaching the arms up overhead, biceps to ears. And then work on squaring off the hips here. Do you want to pull that right hip back, left hip forward? So they're both pointing straight ahead of you. We'll inhale, grow a little bit taller and longer in the spine. And then on your exhale, we're going to open up to warrior two. So you turn that back foot so it's parallel with the short edge of your mat. And then hips are now facing your left side. From warrior two, we're going to take reverse. So flipping the front palm, back arm either around the back or down the back leg, and gaze comes up. And then on your exhale, we'll come through warrior two, and we're going to come into side angle. So that right elbow can come to the top of the right knee, and the left arm can sweep up overhead, or you can drop that right hand down to a block or prop if you have one, or all the way down to the floor if it's in your practice. And then rolling the left ribs back and right ribs come forward. And gaze up towards that left elbow. And then we're going to bring the gaze down towards the right foot and hand. And we're going to slowly start shifting the weight forward into that right side. So right hand reaches out about a foot and plants down. And then the left foot comes to sweep up in line with the torso for half moon. So energy is through that top hand and the extended leg. You can bring your gaze up towards the top hand if you want to play with your balance a little bit. Taking one more inhale. And then on your exhale, we're going to come to standing splits. So left hand comes down to the mat, kicking that left foot up just for a breath. And then on your exhale, we'll come to a forward fold. You can bend the knees, shake the head out, no. Just letting all of that release. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive, hands meet overhead. And we'll exhale, hands to heart center. I'll step to the other side so you can see. And then we're going to sink down into our chair on this side too. So maybe taking a different arm variation this time. So heart center, maybe extend up, and cactus out the arms, and take reverse prayer. So for reverse prayer, if you can see me, you're bringing the palms together in the center of the back. So taking your variation of chair. Few more breaths. And then we'll exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Inhaling here. And then exhale to flow through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. On your inhale, the left leg sweeps up behind you. And on your exhale, knee comes in towards the nose, stepping the foot in between the hands. And then as you're ready, we're going to come up into crescent lunge. So again, hips, you're trying to square off, pushing that right hip forward. Left hip back. And then biceps to ears. Arms extended up overhead. Taking a few breaths here. Taking one more inhale. And on your exhale, we'll open up, warrior two. So that back foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. We'll flip the front palm, take the arm around the back, down the back leg for reverse. Exhale back to warrior two. And then we're going to take side angle. So elbow to the knee, hand down to a block, prop, or all the way down to the floor. So up to you. So you should feel a long stretch through your right side body. And then we'll start to bring the gaze down towards the left-footed hand and start to shift the weight into the left foot as the right foot comes up. That left hand can be on the floor or block or prop if you have one. And then finding your balance here, maybe playing with the gaze. So trying to bring it up towards that top hand. Taking one more inhale. And then on your exhale, right hand comes down to the mat. Coming up into standing splits. Inhaling here. And we'll exhale, forward fold, let it go. Again, you can bend out the knees, bend the knees, wiggle the hips, just kind of shake it out. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, reverse swan leg, hands meet overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, I'll turn face up way. I'll inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank, and either flow through your vinyasa or push straight back to a down dog. And then once we've all met in down dog, on your inhale, sweep the right leg up behind you. And then on your exhale, bring that right knee to the right elbow. We'll inhale, push it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, push it back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, push it back. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. And you're trying to bring the left, or your ankle to the left wrist. And we'll drop down the knee to come into pigeon. So flexing that right foot to protect the knee. And then you can stay in high pigeon, or if you'd like, start to walk your hands down the mat. Maybe using the hands to make a little pillow for the forehead. So you should feel a good stretch on the outside of your right hip. This feels funky on your knee. You can always lay on your back and take a figure four stretch. You have that in your practice too. And then if you took reclined pigeon, walk the hands back up. So meeting knee, pigeon, and then placing the hands down on the mat, tucking the left toes, stepping that right foot back, and coming back to your down dog, maybe pedaling out through the feet, Just resetting the hips, noticing how the right should feel pretty different than your left. And then on your next inhale, kicking the left foot up. And then we'll exhale, left knee, left elbow, hanging plank. Inhale, push it up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, push it up. And then exhale, left knee, left elbow. And then putting that left ankle towards the right wrist. And coming into pigeon on the opposite side. So flexing through that left foot. Trying to keep the hips square. Then you should feel a stretch on the outside. Your left leg. And then again, you can stay up or walk the hands down. Maybe making a pillow with the hands and letting the forehead rest. And then we'll walk the hands back up if you prefer pigeon. And then bringing the weight into the hands, tucking the right toes, and stepping back to your down dog. And then pedaling the feet out, just noticing the difference in the hips. And then we'll drop the knees down to the mat and then swing the legs around. Start coming down onto our backs. So bend the knees. And then we're going to take bridge pose. So for bridge, you're bringing your feet in close enough to your torso so your fingertips can brush the back of your heels. It's a good way to engage. So pressing down into the feet. On your next inhale, lift the hips up. You can come to the tops of the shoulders. So interlace the fingers underneath you. A little bit more mobility. And we'll take a few breaths in our bridge pose. Pushing up a little bit higher on each inhale. And then holding on your exhales. Taking one more inhale, coming up a little bit higher. And then on your exhale, lowering all the way down, one vertebrae at a time. And then maybe windshield wiping the knees from side to side. Release your low back. And then we'll take one more. So setting the feet up, fingertips brush the back of the heels, planting into the floor with your feet. And then on your inhale, lifting the hips up. Again, maybe walking the shoulders underneath you and interlacing the fingers. Want to play a little bit more, you can come up onto the toes. Should give you a little bit more mobility. Taking one more inhale. And on your exhale, coming all the way down to the back. And then windshield wiping the knees from side to side. And then you can bring your arms out to T, and then our brain comes to the goalpost. And we'll bring the knees up so that they're in line with the hips. Shins parallel with the floor. And then let both knees fall over to the left side of your body. And then you can put that left hand on top of the right leg. If you want to deepen your twist, just pressing down. And maybe bring your gaze out towards the opposite elbow. And we'll bring the arms back to your goalpost or tee. And on your inhale, recenter the knees, just pulling them back up. And then on your exhale, knees come over the right side of your body. And then same setup on this side. Maybe right hand on top of the thighs and gaze out over the left shoulder. And then on your inhale, arms come back to the T, knees come up. And hugging the knees into your chest, just come into a little ball, giving yourself a good hug. Maybe rocking from side to side on your low back. Giving a little bit of a massage. And then you can take an inversion of your choice. So you can stay flat on your back and extend the feet up towards the ceiling. So you're making kind of an L shape. If you have shoulder stand in your practice, you'd like to take that, you're welcome to that as well. So bringing the feet behind the head, walking the hands up to the hips. And then legs up towards the ceiling, hands to the low back. And then once you're in shoulder stand, keeping the gaze straight up, not turning the neck from side to side. And then from shoulder stand, coming into plow. So bringing the feet behind the head. Maybe they touch the floor. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, rolling all the way down to the back. And then from here, we'll take Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees coming out wide, so your legs are making a diamond. And then one hand comes to your heart and one hand comes to your belly. So with each inhale, you'll feel the chest and belly rise. And with each exhale, you'll feel them fall back down again. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. In through the nose. Exhale, let it go. And then you can stay here. You can extend your legs, one ankle to each corner. And then arms come down by your sides. Kind of palms facing up or palms facing down. And then I'll walk you through our meditation here. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. And then we'll start to relax. Starting at the top and crown of the head. And then coming down through the forehead. Releasing any tension that you're holding in the brow. And letting the eyelids close softly, so smoothing out each little crease and crinkle in the eyelids. Down the nose to the lips. Letting the tongue fall from the roof of the mouth. Letting the jaw relax. And letting the head sink down into the mat beneath you. Coming down through the neck to the shoulders. Down to the elbows, wrists, and then fingertips. Just letting the arms grow heavy and sink down to the mat beneath you. And then down through the chest, counting each rib, just feeling the torso sink. All the way to the hips. And into the big muscles on the tops of the thighs. Relaxing the kneecaps. Relaxing the calves. Letting the toes fall out to the sides and the feet grow heavy. Taking Shavasana, your final resting pose. And then take a long inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it go. Start to wiggle your fingertips and toes. And then maybe rolling the wrists and the ankles. And then as you're ready, reaching overhead and interlacing the fingers for a good morning stretch, legs zip together. And then as you're ready, rolling onto your side with your knees tucked in. And then using the top arm to push you up, coming into a comfortable seat, facing the front of the room. We'll inhale together, the arms sweep up overhead, meeting in prayer. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Thumbs pressing into the chest, so feeling the heartbeat. Taking a moment to express gratitude. Gratitude towards your body for being able to do this practice. Gratitude towards yourself for dedicating this time to you. And gratitude towards the others who make this practice possible. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. All right, thanks y'all. My name's Lydia. If you'll have any questions for me about anything we did today or the classes and like whole online setup in general, you can leave them in the chat and I'll answer them. We always have to stay on for a couple minutes after and answer questions and stuff. So I will be there. Thanks, y'all. I realized I didn't put on a playlist. It was just playing some of my music, I think, for the rest of that class. I hope it was okay.